Howdy. This is the map for this battle. Hopefully this cursor will show up just fine. But essentially we've got a whole lot of Nurgle folks surrounding this little city in here. This big green box is actually a wide spread of Ultramarines. We've got some Blood Ravens here. They've got some Black Templar support. I dropped some tanks in across a line. There's Death Korps Krieg. Some Imperial Conscripts in red over here. I think they have a few little sort of pseudo dreadnoughts with them. And what they're surrounded by is a bunch of stuff. There are Nurgle cultists. There are some zombie things. There's some stuff I don't even understand. There's some Nurgling swarms. Forsaken. There's some beasts of Nurgle. I think there's great unclean ones, but they're kind of tiny, and there's a lot of them. I think there's 500. They're kind of silly looking. But that's basically what we are up against today. I think I just lost my screen by accident, and we will drop right in right now. Hopefully this thing loads. This game notoriously heats my computer up quite a bit. And I have prepped this a bit. I've done a couple runs through this scenario, but it kind of turns out a little differently if I have to nudge someone around here and there. So I'm really not quite sure how this one will end up. Please load, please load, please load. All right, let's take a quick look around. We've got some Death Korps Krieg, Ultramarines. Now the Ultramarines are really spread out throughout the city, so they should be sort of picking up little spots where they need to fill in and add some support. We've got some tanks there. I think those are Abrams, as close as I could get for now. I really do wish someone would drop in with a Lehman Russ at some point. Let's see. Zoop. Zip over here. Some Blood Ravens. They have bolters. Some Black Templars. Some zombie guys. I'm not going to actually go around the entire map. I'll just show you a couple things and hit K to start. Let's see. And these are Imperial Conscripts with a bunch of eyeliner on them. Whatever works. And away we go. Off to the races. This city is surrounded. There's essentially a flank on each side, so I'll be dipping around from spot to spot to have a look. And yeah, I think I started with roughly 3 million servants of Nurgle. Oh yeah, those guys look absolutely gross. These guys don't look healthy either. These are the cultists. So we've got some amount of Ultramarines already out here for support. Oh, what else do we have back here? Oh, I saw something familiar. Yeah, these guys are standing in for dreadnoughts. They do a hefty amount of damage. There's not a lot of them. Yeah, it's pretty much butchery out here for now. It's already getting a little damp. That's always good to see. Over on this flank, only thing picking up the slack here is the Ultramarines. They are up against... These guys aren't really 40k. They're like old school Warhammer, but they're like Chaos Warrior guys. They got shields. That's cool. Got a little bit of durability there. Oh, it's already starting to pile up over here. Those guys are not fast, but you always have to keep in mind that even though they're all getting shot up, obviously it's a numbers game, and they're deflecting a decent amount of activity away. All this gunfire that's pulled over here can't be somewhere else. Most of the Ultramarines should be fine. If you see one that's already bloodied, you probably spawned on top of a building and did a combat drop off of the side of it. And then back here, very bloody out here already. Yeah. Death Corps, Krieg, and the Ultramarines are holding this little tiny opening pretty tightly. Ultramarines already out there. These guys are so cool. I love these guys. Put them on as many models as I can. These little Nurglings. Oh, that guy's freaking out. Yeah, get some. He's gonna get shot up, but it's all good. You poor dude. Got a tub of good juice for you. So many of these servants in Nurgle are just going to get butchered in the beginning. Oh, that tank went out a little bit far. It'll take a while for those Nurglings to take it out, but they can eventually. In true sort of Nurgle fashion, a lot of times what takes out the vehicles is just clumped up bodies left out there. Those tanks are freaking out. I love it. I think there's another kind of unit over here. I think these guys are Exalted Heroes. Got a big old two-handed axe. These guys can do some damage. There's not a crazy amount of them, but their hits do count. They are definitely not Nurglings. And we see some Nurglings starting to cross into the city. Most of our Death Corps Krieg, are packed into this park. And they're very good skirmishers. They'll skirmish up, take some shots. They'll back away if they need to. Which can't be said for all the units. Yeah, and some Nurglings heading over this way. That's a nice healthy pile. Getting underway. Oh yeah, delicious. A fine start, gentlemen. Yeah, so you can see over here we've got this pocket of Blood Ravens. They're just going to continue to do work, but it's a huge mass of bad things. And these zombies I set to run pretty quick so that they can gum up the works. A lot of this is like water flow. You have these big slow units, you need smaller, faster ones to get around. Yeah, Black Templar does not care. Pile them up. So these guys, I don't even remember what they're called, but I gave them a ranged weapon so that there'd at least be a chance to inflict damage from a little bit further back from the front line, and those guys should cause a lot of attrition over time. Oh yeah, big piles. Yeah, these Black Templars, per usual, sort of getting away from their fire support. That's kind of their thing. Yeah, so you can see that lightning that's coming off of, I don't know if these are Tormentors or some word like that. They're pretty cool. Most of these Nurgle units, with the exception of these zombie guys that I just love and keep using, are pretty newly modded on Steam. You should go check them out. There's a good few, just in the last few days, additions of Warhammer units. I think there's some Slanesh ones that just came out maybe today or yesterday. But they're fun. Nurgle and through that Death Guard really are my jam. So I was very pleased to see these guys pop up. Alright, let's spin around. I gotta find out what is going on in the front of town. This place is carpeted. Whoop. I have a sinking feeling that our Imperial Conscripts are no more. That is... Yep, that's pretty devastating. These guys are probably headed into the city. Little by little. Oh man, you guys are so big. Yeah, they'll get in. They'll just keep filing in. And so, actually what I was saying before on this corner is that, you know, all this fire was drawn over here by those, like, Nurgle warrior guys. So it wasn't faced out front. And while things do look reasonably under control out here, that's a heck of a lot of Ultramarine. It means they're not somewhere else once again. Oh yeah, big piles. Some of those guys are just getting absolutely tossed. Plenty of cultists to go around. Bolter fire will take lighter units like these guys and just send them flying into the air, which is actually good. I added the splash damage and extra inertia from it just so they could sort of plow a little bit. Otherwise the bodies would kind of pile up a little bit too much in one spot and it would get a little bit corny. Alright, let's have a look back here. It is definitely getting bloody. Hopefully you can't hear my computer suffering in the background. It's a decent computer, but this game just spins things up. But this is interesting. We got some, yeah, Ultramarine down. The Imperials are down to less than 20,000 units. Nurgle's under 1 million. So you've got a lot of Ultramarines just sort of spread out in the waste over here. Those guys will be gobbled up soon enough. This area is still very much under control, though. They're just firing away. Packing the Krieg in like sardines. I don't know how they're shooting over that wall, but we'll give them a pass. Do we have any tanks left? We do. Oh, I don't think as many as we had. Yeah, there's a few of them junked out here. Nope. Those are Nurgle dudes. It gets so bloody out here a lot of times you can't even tell the corpses apart. You get a bunch of optimizations for distance and some of the models get squirrely. But yeah, tanks are still rolling. See if I can find any of them. Did they take off? Who knows? Yeah, that one is junked. Yep, a couple of them over here. We found them. Those guys are blown out. Another downed tank over here. Getting dark out. And spicy. So this side of town is very well defended with Krieg, but they've also got things coming from all angles. Yeah, these guys are a heaping pile of bodies. Love it. Absolutely love it. These guys love entrenchment. And if they've got to build some fortification out of Nurgling, so be it. Take another quick run over here. Yeah, the city's getting full. Interesting. What's finally flowing in? When one of these sides, another one of these sides breaks. In fact, I'm just going to peek over here for a second because I'm guessing these Blood Ravens are just fine. Take a little top-down look up here and see where things are running through the streets. There should be... Oh my god, that guy fell. Once in a while someone glitches up on top of a building. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. When a flank falls. Now you get all these units just streaming in. And they're going to come up behind those Krieg. And there's a lot of them. Yeah, you got some big boys in town. This place is struggling. That said, the Imperials are not losing many units too fast. But I feel when these flanks start getting penned in, they're going to be spread out a lot. Find themselves in trouble. Let's see over here. Lots of gunfire over here. Yeah, we had a big old chunk of Ultramarines holding it down over here. Now they're just firing at will. Poor Will. Big old piles. What a horde. Got my Earl Grey tea. Just sitting back. Watching some explosions. Doing work. Numbers are going down. They might actually take it. Ultramarines are working very efficiently right now. It's interesting, you know, on the Nurgle side, there's so many expendable units. There's not that many on the Imperial side. So, like, when a little area of Space Marines gets rolled up, it makes a massive difference in terms of that flow of Nurgle bodies getting through. This is pretty reasonably held down. It's going to be really tough to see because it's dark out and everything's exploding and these guys are covered in blood, but they have awesome animations. They're just like partying over here, having a blast. Living their best life. That's how servants of Nurgle do. Always got a big smile. Always happy to share some gifts. There are a lot of these little guys. They're just so much fun. See all those double axes from those, yeah, exalted guys. A lot of them have been buried. But we do have more. Always plenty more where that came from. In fact, if they splinter off into two groups, that could get very interesting. Because they'll struggle a little bit with Space Marines, but in terms of regular infantry or even Krieg, they'll get in there close enough and get some serious shots in. Some little bloody ponds. Got that, oh, that cute old pile. Body piles. It is quieted down a lot out here. Oh yeah, it's getting lonely. Should have been a mailman. I'm sure being a mailman in the 41st millennium is probably a pretty terrible job too. These guys are absolutely in this pond. Look at that. He's swimming in it. Let's get out over here. Yeah, it is thinned out a lot. Yep. I may have spoken too soon. There's a decent contingent of Space Marines off to our right, another decent one across town, but a lot of the ones over here have been sort of separated out into tiny clusters. At this point, you're talking, you know, it's a point cost trade. These cultists are worthless except in mass numbers. And they're still all trying to get over to this little pocket of dudes. Like when these guys drop, everybody is going to peace out. Two left. Last man standing. They can pay for it. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's just shooting downrange. He's got his 1,000-yard stare going. And he's down. And you get to watch everyone turn around, and are they plugged in? They might be a little bit locked in. We'll see. Everybody scooching in front. Oh, yep. Starting to get a little bit of movement out here. Oh, there we go. I do think this game does a lot of optimization for what's directly on camera. There's a lot of times where you sort of move the camera over to some spot and everybody wakes up. It's like, oh, I'm going to do my job. Or it probably is abstracting a bunch on the other side of the map. I'm going to zip over here. We got... I still see some gunfire, but it is not as prosperous as it was when last we were here. Yeah, it's a tough time on this side of town. Guys are elbow deep in blood. Yeah, they're starting to get moving. They start funneling. One last guy over here. Oh. Let's see, where to go next? Mush! Yeah, absolutely rolling out. Alright. There's one flank left, which will make the camera work a lot easier. Thankfully, all of these troops are like pretty compacted in. It's going to be an uphill climb. They've got a 500,000 Nurgle folks to chomp through. They got a decent spread. They can skirmish if they don't get locked in by these walls. These guys might have some trouble. Oh yeah, this does not look good. Yeah, these guys with the axes, when they lean in, they pile in like that. Obviously that first guy didn't do much, but... Oh, the piles, the piles. And the charge coming in on this side, not looking pretty. Oh yeah. Stand on top, king of the hill. Look at those heaping piles of Nurgling. What a mess. What a mess. They just keep coming. I love these dudes. Really cool model. Really cool animations. Even the death animation's good. Yeah, gonna get in and chop. Yeah, you see that they're just cleaving him. There's no room to breathe. That's a rough spot. Standing room only. Another big pile. If they can get through those Exalted Hero guys, that'll make a big difference, because a lot of the huge units can't really get in close until they've taken a bunch, an absolute, like, pile of fire. Oh, it's getting wet in here. Yeah. Hope you wore your galoshes. Sun's up. Guns up. Yeah, it is wet. Target-rich environment. These guys on 6 legs are shooty. Just very short range. Do a decent amount of damage, have some amount of knockback. Oh, these poor guys are cornered in. Still handling themselves admirably. It's actually pretty cool that they're, the blood effects on them as they take damage. They actually bloodied up the bayonets. That was like a very SMRT smart choice. Oh, we got a big boy coming in to say hi. I don't think he's going to get to him. That guy's had to walk through a lot to get here. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. You got dropped. I do love those dudes. Should get that model. Should paint more models. So much blood. So we got anything? Yeah! These guys are hanging. It's crazy that this little inner alleyway place is like the defense spot. Blood Avenue and Hemoglobin Street. They are pushing, yeah, so now we've got cultists that have moved all the way around from that other side of the city. All the way through and around, so that now they're fighting on this front. That is wild. Look at that. An endless sea of sadness. Still holding tight, though. Imperials are losing numbers, but at a much slower rate. This one's relatively tight. It is funny because the Imperials chew through... Oh my god, that hill. They chew through their first million Nurgle folks, like, super fast. And then that attrition just piles up. Look at this. That is where the gap used to be. Everybody's just sliding on down like butter off a hot biscuit. Get in there, boys. There's just so much bad man going on right now. Yeah, we're down below 5,000. I have a sinking feeling I know where this is going. They're up almost to their knees. And that one Space Marine just hanging out in the meat pile. What an absolute champ. You can see his head's twitching. Oh, buddy, I shouldn't have said anything about you. You're doing so well. Oh, yeah, here's another pile up. Oh, yep. These guys are getting close. Oof, big hit. That was devastating. I think those guys are going to really wrap this up. Like, they're horribly inaccurate, but when those, like, witchfire goes off, it's just... carves a pile of guys. The damage is bad enough, but then you see all these cultists fill in that gap. It's messy. It is messy. Ugh. Devastating. Of course, these guys are like packed into the perfect spot. I wonder if this is everyone who's left. See if we see any gunfire anywhere else. Nada. This is our last stand. Only in death does duty end. They're just getting sniped with witchfire over here. Glitching through the walls. Oh, big hit. Buddy, put your swimmies on. Big boy's coming over the hill. Down to just about 1,000. At least you guys got to see the sun come up. Quite noble. What a mess. 200. Join us in the pool. 170. Oh, yep. There's got to be a couple guys hiding somewhere. This definitely doesn't. Whoa! That was a lot of death. 30. That doesn't look like 30. I bet someone's glitched in a building somewhere. Sitting in a bathroom just crying. We did it. City belongs to Nurgle. And there's plenty of blood and rot to start a proper plague. As if this many units wouldn't already have just made this place disgusting. But yeah, it's going to be smelly. So yeah, if you're into that Steam thing, a bunch of mods just came out adding a ton of units, a ton of Warhammer units. This is about half, maybe, of the Nurgle ones. There's probably another whole set more. Some things like Plaguebringers and other green guys with horns sticking out of their heads. Those one-eyed dudes that are so famous. Wow, these guys never made it over. Didn't have to. That was a fun model. Anyway. Thanks a bunch for hanging out, and we'll see you sometime soon.